Hey, welcome back to the Full Circle Network. I'm your host, Marcus Melendez, the managing editor of FullCircleCinema.com. I'm here today to review the last episode of Season 1 of Stargirl. I'm joined today by Ernesto Valenzuela.
Hey, Marcos.
I'm very excited here.
Big excited.
The only critic here, once again.
The only true cinephile
Yep.
on this podcast.
So yeah, this
kidding.
is Stars and Stripe Part 2. As we all know, this is the big season finale for Stargirl.
Season finale.
Yep, and a lot happened. I think for the most part we were pretty satisfied. I know we have our complaints, but I want to get your general thoughts here.
A lot happened. Yeah, you're right. A lot happened. I liked it overall. Very solid finale. I was very impressed by a lot of aspects of it. The visual effects, the fight choreography, the performances, the way it neatly tied everything up while also setting up a lot of new exciting things. But so overall, It was a successful finale despite some,
Yeah, I think
a little bit of problems here and there.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same page. I think you probably have a few complaints we'll bring up later on. But yeah, so plot-wise, we open up right after the last episode. It opens with everyone being mind controlled, all the adults, all the developed brains, and they're being controlled by brainwave. And then so Stargirl fights S.T.R.I.P.E for a second. It's pretty cool. But only, as I said last week, I thought it would last more than a minute, but it was literally a minute, and they got over it pretty quickly. And then we got I was surprised we got the fight pretty quickly.
Emotional beat to get on from the fight.
Yep. And
I like the emotional beat where she calls him her father, finally, after this whole season of justice back and forth between them and a little bit of contention early on, and then begrudging respect from Stargirl towards Pat. She starts respecting him more, starts seeing him in a new light, and then when she finds out Starman isn't her father, and she finds out her father's a bum, then I think it finally came. Her arc was sort of completed in regards to her relationship with Pat, where she was telling him all these nice things that she didn't ever tell him before, and it ended the fight on a wholesome note, in that their relationship is finally where it needs to be for them to work together.
And that's the case for like the entire finale, and especially in that one moment, which I really liked, and that's right before we get the big fight. So yeah, we finally got a big fight between the ISA and the GSA. I think it's pretty much what everyone hoped for. I think that the fact we didn't get too much Tyrants or Sportsmaster, but that was fine because we got a lot of them throughout the season.
Yeah, they had highlights in their own episodes, so it was fine that they got sidelined.
Even Icicle, I think Icicle has some cool bits here and there, but I was looking forward to Shiny Knight a little bit more. I don't think he got to do much. I'll tell you that
he got a cool fight with Dragon
King. I'll tell you, Dragon. So Dragon King fights him, and he dies pretty quickly. To
his own daughter kills him.
And I like how Shiv gets in part of the fight. He even fights Stargirl herself, and like everyone's
fights. I thought she was gonna kill Shining Knight, but she didn't.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to for her.
Yeah, but she killed her dad. So like, why wouldn't she kill him? He's right there, vulnerable. He could be a threat.
I wish she had the suit though. It's a really good suit.
Oh yeah, really good suit. And then Stargirl and Wildcat work together too.
Yeah, there's a lot of some good teamwork. Not too much Iron Man. He's kind of in the background fighting. Of course, we got Dr. Mid-Nite at the chair, the nerded chair, of course, and then
she wasn't in the fight, of course,
which is fine.
She's only worn her costume like once too, right?
Yeah, once, and she doesn't wear this in the finale, right? Wow, that's a good point.
No, she doesn't.
That's weird.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Not that she had to.
Fine. I mean, she doesn't need to. Yeah, should have looked kind of dumb.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we got a big fight. What else happens? We have Brainwave trying fights. Actually, I forgot already.
Fights Yolanda. Fights Wildcat.
That's true. That's very true. So we
he
get
takes a break.
So we get a big
machine.
Yeah. So he takes a break for the machine, and this like midway through the fight, Wildcat's trying to go towards Brainwave, and then we have like this big surprise, which I thought it was a fake right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got Brainwave Jr. like hidden under one of those like
one of those mindless dudes that Dragon King's made. he takes off the mask. It's Brainwave Jr. He's saying he's alive and he's been hiding himself there this whole time.
At first, I was like,
And
if it was
Wildcat
real, I
hugs him.
thought it was dumb. I thought it was really dumb.
Yeah, it would have been so dumb if it was real. But obviously, you're hearing this. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. I'm sure you've seen it if you're listening to this. Sure. It's not Brainwave Jr. It's Brainwave putting on this facade, which I don't think we've seen him do yet. Which
it was
is something I knew he could do, but they've never shown him doing it. So
I feel like it would have come in
Wildcat
handy a
comes
lot,
onto
I'd
it,
say,
yeah.
if he used that more.
Yeah. She finds out through kind of a dumb reason. She's like, he had more. He would have referred.
It's
to
that's
his
weird.
friends,
I wouldn't have. I don't think anyone would have.
Yeah, and then
thought
she
that.
just slits his throat.
Yeah, it was a
She
big
just
jump.
kills
I don't
him.
know if she would have done that because right beforehand she goes
Yeah.
to Higher Man. And how,
I mean, they had
yeah.
this conversation with Our Man.
I mean, I
beforehand where
get
she's
I
like,
get their intention with it, but it's weird.
Yeah, she has a conversation with Our Man before their big battle, and she's like, "Why would you want to kill him?" And he's like, "God wouldn't want you to do that." And then Our Man's like, "Well, God wouldn't let bad things happen either." And then she just stops, and the camera zooms in on her. We're supposed to be convinced that she's thinking that maybe killing isn't so bad just from that single conversation. It's kind of forced,
It's a
but
little forced.
it
It
works
comes out of
for
nowhere.
what it is.
But I think,
Yeah.
I get the intention, and I think for the most part it worked for me. I think it worked better for Our Man, especially with his fight with Grundy. I will say, Grundy, of course, it's under a TV budget, and you can tell it's not real. But I think they did well
But it looks
enough.
really good.
It looks
still.
really good.
It looks clean.
I think his fight with S.T.R.I.P.E. especially is really good.
Yeah, they really lived up to the hype because all season they've been hyping Solomon Grundy
Yeah.
without really showing him. And so we finally get to see him fight S.T.R.I.P.E. and Our Man. And those fights I think are really well choreographed and very entertaining. I thought they were really good fights.
Yeah, they're intense, and I did like how Grundy moved. I like how he kind of outsmarted Pat. I mean, not that Pat is the smartest,
Yeah.
but still.
I liked his design, yeah.
Yeah, but I liked how Our Man didn't have like his dumb hood and mask on. He was just fighting. I wish we got a little bit more fighting.
towards Solomon Grundy, and Solomon Grundy just slaps him out
Yeah.
of the way for most of the fight.
Yeah.
And then Our Man shows up out of nowhere at the end to fight him for a little bit.
Yeah, for a little bit. I do like that scene though. If you just jump a little bit, the scene where he's fighting Grundy and he decides not to kill him, which is I think
Yeah.
it's a good arc. It's a good turning point for the character because it's really the first turning point for the character really.
Yeah, you haven't been sure about him this whole season about how good he is or not, and
Yeah, he's also kind of pushed off to the side for the most part.
yeah. And this last episode, you see him, and at the end of the season, just shows that he's still a good man at heart, like his father.
Yeah, and I like that.
He didn't
Like
do it.
it was a little forced, but I did like the parallel with Wildcat.
Yeah, like they both had different diverging character arcs that were like paralleled. Yeah, like she ends up killing, and he ends up not killing. It was.
I mean,
clever.
look,
I
we
liked
have
it, but-
two killers in this episode at least.
Yeah, we'll talk about that other killer later, but
Yeah. So
that less meaningful
so by this
killer,
point, what happens? Okay, so by this point, we do have Stargal ends up fighting Shiv. She beats her pretty easily. I like the fact like she could have just like almost killed her, but she just decides to blast her for a second. I think Stargal's way more powerful than like she makes it out to be. And they kind of toned it down a little bit.
she sort of fought everybody.
I
in
mean,
that
yeah,
fight.
she
Like,
takes
was helping
Tigress and
everybody out.
Sportsmaster down like single-handedly.
Yeah, and she fights Icicle for a bit too.
Yep, and I do like the Icicle fight with S.T.R.I.P.E, the little tag team.
Yeah, that was cool.
Of course, they didn't do the full ice. I guess the budget, and it would have looked weird.
Yeah, and sometimes it was super obvious that there was a stunt double.
Yeah, it's especially with these type of fights where you have so many people in the
And it's
shot.
so well lit.
Yeah, so well lit. So you can't. There's a few shots where you can tell, but I wasn't
Yeah.
like taken out. I understood. And for the most
And
part, if
also,
you're not paying attention,
yeah.
you're not gonna see it.
Yeah. I also didn't like at the end of the Grundy Our Man fight. It was a little bit of a cringe-inducing moment for me when Our Man like yells at Grundy to go away, like he fake screams, he's like ah, and then like Grundy flinches and
I think
walks
it was
away all sad.
it was weird because it was like the first time Our Man wasn't just one note.
Yeah, it was a
So it
weird
comes out
moment,
of,
but
like-
but overall that fight was cool.
Yeah, the overall fight was
All the fight with JSA
Yeah.
ISA lived up to the hype. Good fight.
for sure.
Good fight.
And then we do have Stargirl. They kind of blow the budget. She takes down the satellite, which no one apparently thinks. Everyone thinks is Earthquake. That was weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, Kat's just like, so how do we stop it? She's like, oh, I destroy it. And then she just goes up
goes
there
up
and
and
just
she
destroys
starts
3 giant
blasting it.
satellites.
It was actually really cool. I did like that scene.
And everybody's okay. It all works out. That was a big risk I think she took. It could have killed everybody. Could have made everyone brain dead, but, you know.
And yeah, at this point, they're kind of going through the ISA. It's obviously not as difficult now that they've, like, I guess, trained. I mean, barely.
Yeah. But the ISA have also been years at peace, you know, just like Bane says in The Dark Knight Rises, victory has defeated you, you know.
For sure. And we also, I mean,
ISA
like,
got a victory.
I mean, yeah, and most of the ISA
JSA.
is kind of just either missing or old, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
And so we do have some Dr. Mid-Nite stuff. I do like her role. I mean, I wish she kind of wore the suit though.
There's some stupid stuff because Icicle takes out her goggles.
He takes her goggles, which is
destroys them.
Very sad. We don't have Chuck anymore, but I think we'll talk about it later. We know what's gonna happen there.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Icicle takes Courtney's mom to the top of the tower, and apparently he's had a crush on her. You know, apparently it was super obvious to everyone except for us.
Yeah. He had the hots for her, and he keeps on trying to convince her, talking about how 500,000 Americans died of cancer.
I mean, the thing is, he had
argument.
It was random, but I don't like. You can definitely get the ISA's point, but I think they're going around it the wrong way, and it's clear it's crazy.
Yeah,
and they're totally defeated at that point.
He takes her hostage, and then
Pat does nothing.
Goes to try and save
just
her.
Uses Pat,
Pat tries to distract Icicle for a bit.
I think his ice effects here look really good. They look top notch. In this part.
And Stargirl and Icicle fight on the tower. He falls off the tower. He goes full ice, and he's like screaming at her, right, getting ready to fight, and then you know, it happens.
Yeah, and well, I like the part where it's a little neat nod where Wildcat saves Stargirl, and when she finally jumps off the tower.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And I did like that. And then it was super a little cringy, a little on the nose, and when they're kind of celebrating, hugging and stuff, it's a little bit cliche.
Yeah.
But it should have been a little bit more realistic.
Icicle.
So yeah.
You want to talk about the defeat of Icicle?
Yeah. I mean, obviously the hero of the story and of the finale is Mike Dugan and his dog.
he drives the truck right and just runs over Icicle.
He murdered someone, but don't care.
Shattering him. He murders him. There's no moral dilemma there, apparently.
Yeah, I'm sure. I guarantee
you,
next season Wildcat's gonna have a moral dilemma for killing Brainwave, and they're all gonna have moral dilemmas, but not.
And then Mike's gonna be there like nothing.
I mean, props to Mike.
He just straight up
the thing is, I would have enjoyed the moment
like,
way more.
Mike.
I would have enjoyed the moment way more if one, he hadn't just killed him, and two, if I liked Mike. Like, I don't think I would have minded that much if I liked Mike, but he comes out of nowhere.
No, either way, I wouldn't have liked it. It's not earned. It's not justified, I think.
Yeah.
Like, Mike had nothing to do with Icicle. They just used his death as a gag,
yeah, it was
which I don't think is right.
Yeah, it was a gag, and I think that... Yeah, should have been Stargal, to be honest. And I like their fight is also short-lived. I do like the effects. I think it looks great. I think the fact that we're kind of getting this big finale for, like, a superhero show, finally, and up to this quality is really cool. But yeah, we do have some complaints, and I do think that...
Yeah, that death was stupid. There were some cringe moments throughout the fight between the ISA and the
I mean,
JSA.
for sure, there's some... I mean, look, Geoff Johns wrote it. He wrote, like, comic. He tends to do this stuff. It usually does well in a comic, and I think some of it doesn't translate as well. It comes out...
The whole thing about how Dr. Mid-Nite, she thinks that the goggles are a real person, and she's treating them like a real person.
I like that. Like, I mean, it's her friend. Like, technically, like, it's... come on. I like that.
Like, it's an AI. Like,
I mean, I know, but
Beth
is, you know...
Beth is special, yeah.
Yeah, she's very special. But yeah,
like, the way they talk to her afterwards, they're like, don't worry. They're trying to console her, right? And they're like, don't worry, we'll fix it. Like, the goggles, because that's what they are. They're not a thing.
Yeah,
and they're not a person,
like,
I mean.
Did you watch her and be like, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, you shouldn't be, like, sad.
And then, yeah, but...
Wait, it's not different?
Then she just looks at them, and she's like, no, not it. Him. Chuck was a person.
Oh, yeah,
like,
I forgot that. That's weird.
That was so stupid.
I mean, it's
Like,
weird.
some of the parts in the ending were a little
I
dumb.
do think I think we know what they're setting up, and I think we can just discuss it right now. So apparently next season, which makes total sense since they destroyed the goggles. It seems like Dr. Mid-Nite will be coming back, and he's been alive this entire time. And with that big shade tease at the end, that's apparently Dr. Mid-Nite has been stuck in that vortex, as we saw in the very first episode. So it seems like he'll be back, and I guarantee you that his back and forth with Beth Chapel will be very different, and that'll probably be way more interesting than what we got.
Yeah,
I feel like
so
she'll
I
be
don't see why
disappointed.
she's upset because the real Chuck will be alive.
Yeah, and that I think there'll be this
goggles.
dynamic where like she's disappointed because he's totally different. I think there's something cool there.
Never meet your heroes.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's something cool there to do. So I did like that tease, even if it's kind of weird.
And then Shining Knight left too.
The poor guy didn't really do anything. Kind of useless, low-key. And I was disappointed
Jacob
in that.
was so hyped about him.
I think a lot of the episode really did live up to like a lot of the things we were waiting for. But I think Shining Knight is probably one of the most disappointing things for me, because even though it was an obscure character, I just liked it, like the idea. But I felt like he was just too like on the side. I felt like he didn't really care as much, and he kind of just leaves to get the Seven Soldiers of Victory. So we'll get Stephen Amell as Green Arrow, hopefully. Sure. What else? So yes, Mike saves the day, of course. Everyone's good. And then we get the.
We fast forward 6 weeks.
No,
into
wait.
Christmas.
We gotta talk about the one other tease other than Shade.
But first we gotta talk about that Christmas scene. You know.
That's true.
All of them acting as a family unit together. You know,
liked it.
They're like,
it's a little
the
cringe,
JSA is over for Christmas. It's Hourman and Wildcat, and Stargirl Courtney gives the present to Pat.
I like
that
that part. It was a little hallmarky, but
I like
it was
that.
Good.
It was wholesome. I liked it. And then there's this cool shot of them flying together, S.T.R.I.P.E and Stargirl.
Yeah, Stars and Stripe. Let's go.
And they rest on a water tower in a really cool shot.
Yeah.
I mean, horrible music cue.
Horrible music cue, and I don't think
really
they understand
shot.
how music is like put into like shows and like for cinema.
Yeah, but man, I just love the visual effects. Like, I know it doesn't look realistic, but it's
sure,
still
but like
decent.
it looks
I love
decent
how
enough.
it looks with,
like for these type of characters,
sitting on the
you
water
can't
tower.
really
Yeah.
like for this show. You could do a movie, but it wouldn't be doing justice because you'd have to like focus on a lot of characters. And the fact that we're kind of getting this quality is good enough for me, because I think these are characters you'll never get it for.
Yeah,
you're never gonna get it.
But
like
I liked it. I liked the shot of Stargirl and S.T.R.I.P.E on the water tower.
That was very neat.
Was cool.
I did like that moment. It's a little weird, but like once you think about where the entire season has been heading, I like that was the last thing that we saw. And of course, it's a very like special moment because he dedicates it to Geoff Johns' sister right afterwards.
Yeah, their relationship was like the foundation of the show, and I thought it worked really well. How much their relationship has changed.
For sure, and I think that with all the complaints that we do have, like for the most part, I think overall it left a really good feeling for me. And of course, we got that big tease at the end.
Yep, crazy tease.
Crazy tease that I think that if you Googled, you could understand pretty quickly.
Yeah, I kept on hoping Joel McHale would show up in the season, and he finally did at the very end.
Yeah, so it seems like he'll be heading to the CW next season.
He's looking for Pat.
So yeah, I think the fact that he's looking for Pat in California means that he was just like resurrected or something, and he hasn't been alive this entire time. And I think that since a big tease early on with Eclipso, Shiv was with the little crystal. Eclipso is like a semi-big villain in the comics, where he could like resurrect people and control them.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that's what's going on with Joe McHale, especially since it's been like 6 months.
Yeah, but it sets up some promising things for the next season that will be moving to the CW.
Yeah, but I just hope we still only get 13 episodes. I think this was like the perfect length. Anything longer, they're gonna thin out the budget. It's not gonna be worth it.
I agree.
And I do want to get the same quality.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on season 1 as a whole?
As a whole, I'd say it's really solid. I think I'm overall really satisfied. And in terms of like comparing it to other superhero shows, I think this is like the most mainstream, this popcorn fun. Like it's the closest like I think we've gotten to like an actual superhero movie in terms of this regular television. And I think it's not perfect, but it's definitely enough for me. How about you?
Yeah. I thought it was a really good first season. It was fantastic. I loved it. There wasn't an episode that I really, really hated, you know?
I mean,
I had a good time with every single episode. And I love Brick Bassiter's performance. I love the whole cast performance. I love the writing. I love all the fights that we got in the seasons. They were few and far apart, but when they happened, they happened, man. They were really good.
There's a lot of special care taken into almost everything here. You can really tell.
Yeah. There's a certain love put into it, you know, that I'm really impressed by, that you don't see a lot in comic book shows anymore, I feel like.
Yeah,
like Flash season 1, Arrow season 1 had that special care taken into it, you know what I'm saying?
First, like, especially in the first 2 seasons of Flash, where it's almost event television.
Yeah, but it was really good. I thought it was a fantastic first season. It was a great start to a series, and hopefully they'll carry over this quality and this heartfelt writing into the next season, hopefully.
Yep, and I hope that I do believe that we're getting all the writing team back and all the production staff and whatnot. They added a few writers, I think, recently. Hopefully it's not to add more episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hopefully we could talk about it again next year.
Hopefully. Alrighty. Let's rate the season. I'm gonna rate a good 8.
You know what? I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to do an 8.5.
You know what? Just to meet you there, 8.25.
You know what? Yeah. That's a good... I'll settle on that.
Just because, like, in terms of, like, comparing it to, like, a Doom Patrol or another, like, high-quality superhero show, it's a little below, but not by much.
Yeah.
To me, those are, like, the next tier, and I think this sits really well in just below it. And I think it's just perfect for everyone.
Cool.
Yeah. Alright. Where can they find you on Twitter?
They can find me on @thisis_Ernesto.
You can find me at BizGamer9. You can find me at Comic Corner _. You follow the page at Full Circle Cine. You follow the site, the website, FullCircleCinema.com. Of course, subscribe, please. Leave a like. Tell us what you thought of the season. And we might have...
So that's it, huh?
Yep, that's it for a while.
That's it? They're never going to hear from us again, huh?
We don't... Hey, we got to wait till the next season.
Hey,
I don't think there's going to be anything out soon either. Unless we get The Boys. Do you watch The Boys? This is the last
time you guys are hearing from me. This is the last time you guys are hearing from me. It was Marcos. Don't believe what they tell you.
All right.
It was Marcos.
I mean, that's kind of true. All right. Do you watch The Boys?
No, I don't watch The Boys. I have seen An American Pickle, though.
All right, American Pickle. Yes, I wrote a review on FullCircleCinema.com. You can read it right now.
Let's go.
All right.
All right. Thanks for reviewing this season with me, Marcos. It's been fun.
Yep, it's been a lot of fun, Ernie. Let's go.
All right. See you guys.